Hi guys, it's Jolene here. I'm at my soon-to-be open spa. I'm here because I'm going to give myself a treatment. I thought this would be a really good opportunity to record the treatment so you guys can see a service that is offered on my menu. I can also brief you a little bit, educate you on some things you might not know with products, treatments, and whatnot. So the purpose of my treatment today is, unfortunately, about, I don't know, a month and a half ago, I ran out of my really good skincare. So I had to go to Target and I bought some stuff, and it turned out being really disappointing for me. I knew it was crap, but I kept using it because I was waiting for my noon skincare to get here, and it came, and I started using it, about a week ago. Well, the thing that I'm going through right now is because I switched over from that Target brand back to Noon, which is like a really, really strong active ingredient level in all their bottles. So I'm going through something that all of us in the skin world, we know as skin purging. And this is very common. This does happen a lot of times when you switch from an OTC product to a paraceutical or medical grade product because of the active concentration levels are so much higher, blah, blah, blah. So basically what's happening is your skin is having a reaction. And it's something that I personally perceive as kind of a good thing. It's not a bad thing because it tells me that these active ingredients are going to trigger your cell turnover rate, and it tells me that your cell proliferation is actually working. So now you're shedding those dead skin cells at a much faster rate than you were before. Purging comes into play because what we don't know is if we're not cleaning our skin right, if we're not taking care of our skin, we all have pores, and what happens is that dirt and debris and oil and sebum and whatever else, all that buildup and crap, it actually burrows its way down deep into the skin through the pores, and you have a debris, like a whole layer of debris that is really living underneath your skin. And so when you start using stronger products, your skin is reacting, and it's pushing all that debris that was underneath the outer layer of the skin, and it's just pushing it forward like a volcano, right? So we're getting acne, we're getting comedones, open and closed comedones, all kinds of weird things are going on with our face. And we just got this new product and we don't know why. It's because 9 times out of 10, you're probably purging. The biggest mistake that happens with people that start purging is they don't know that that's what's happening. They get a new product and they use it in a week, they're breaking out and they're like, oh my God, my skin is so sensitive, I just can't use anything. I had to stop using that product, and go back to my St. Ives or Cetaphil. And I'm like, and it makes sense, but that's not what's happening. You are purging and your skin is breaking out because of the active level, active ingredient level that you're using now. And the thing you want to do is you want to keep going with it. As long as you are not having an allergic reaction, you're not breaking out in hives, you're not itching, you're not irritated or uncomfortable. If you're just getting some acne, look right here, some, stuff like that. I mean, this camera does a lot of justice for my skin, but if that's happening, that's okay. Keep going with the product. We want to ride this out because purging is going to last for about 2 weeks to 4 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe even. After 6 weeks, if you're still you're still experiencing more acne, you're still experiencing these problems, that's going to tell me this is something else. This probably is hormonal. This could be your diet. This could be a number of things that might be out of my scope of practice. So I'm going to have to refer you to some other people, right, that can figure this out. But normally it just means your skin is purging and you want to keep using those products and you want to keep going with it, because the payoff is going to be great. So I have my tray set up here. I am a Noon girl now. I'm using all Noon aesthetics. Everything here is Noon aesthetics, and this is actually one of my acne pills that I'm going to be doing. So it's a facial treatment. It's a pill. It's got 2 different pills that I'm using, the G pill 50 nano construction and the S pill Peel 20. I'll just show you my tray real fast so you can kind of eyeball it, and this is exactly how the tray will be set up when you come in here and get a service, so you can see the different products, all of the products that I'll be using on you in one treatment. Okay, so this is a tray. Now I'm going to be using the C cleanser, which is a detoxifying, deep cleansing, very hydrating and moisturizing kind of cleanser. It has vitamin C, of course, which is why they call it C, but it's also made out of chamomile flower water, so it's very soothing and calming. Then we have the Pill Prep. We got the G Pill 50, and that is the nano constructed. That basically means that that's 50% glycolic acid, and then we have the peel neutralizer that comes with it. Then I'm going to be using an Igloo mask. This is very hydrating. It's loaded with like menthol properties. And with this treatment, you get the Acne Complex Ampule, which is basically a serum, but it's very, very, very intense. You get the Mediclay mask, which is, you know, antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial. It's very good for problematic skin. And then we're going to, you know, hit my skin with the S Pill 20, which is a salicylic acid pill. It's 20%. Now, options on the moisturization. First off, Igloo Moist 24/7 is kind of like the go-to for noon. That is our #1 moisturizer. It works great and it's calming. It's got some menthol properties in there too. Now, it's not really, you know, sunny out. It's gonna be nighttime, so I'm gonna add some retinol into my treatment. We wanna start our retinols at 3%. There's 3 different levels of retinol with noon, and it goes up to 1% and 1.6%. Rule of thumb is start at 3%, use that bottle, come back for the 1%, use that bottle, work your way up, because retinol is very powerful. You only want to use retinol at nighttime about 2 to 3 times a week. Don't overdo it. Your skin is going to be like sandpaper if you do overdo it. Now, the cool thing about Noon is they are pretty much like the only brand that I know of that has this. This is SPF. This is their sunscreen, and it is a brush. It's a mineral powder, right? And it's a sunscreen. You can use this on kids. You can use this on men. You can use this on women. It doesn't matter. There's no like foundation or anything to it. It's just sunscreen. That is a brush. And I'm going to open it up and we're going to look at this. I haven't even tried it yet, but I'm just saying. Really excited about that. And then, you know, we've got all of our tools that we need. And yeah, that's the tray. All right, so I'm all suited and booted up. I got my gloves on because I'm dealing with peels. I don't want to dry my skin out too much with my hands. Yeah, so I am going to be treating myself as the, I'm still learning the acronyms. We call this the OSNT, which is oily, sensitive, non-pigmented, tight, acneic skin. I'm going to give you a little close-up of what I'm talking about. I have no makeup on. If you look closely, you can see not much, but 1, 2, 3, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, a little bit right there, right? I mean, it's not bad, but they're there and they exist. So we're going to fix all that because nobody wants that. So first I'm going to start with my C cleanser. So I've got my cleanser. Let me fix that light. Oh. And I'm going to take my palette and voila. Start with cleansing the face first. I also have a little water bowl right here with a sponge to kind of like pre-dampen my skin. I have some towels in the steamer. Not that hot towels are not really that great for chemical peels because it's all about keeping the skin cool. So what I do is I usually just kind of like flap it out and let it cool off all the way until it's really chilled, and then I use it as like a wet towel. I don't know why I do it that way, but I don't know. So let's start with our cleansing, shall we? This is a really thick, hydrating type of cleanser. It smells so good. It smells like flowers, honestly, with like a tiny little citrus kind of scent. I don't know, I like it, and it seems to be everybody's go-to. We do have like a Microsoft oil-based cleanser, and that one is probably not an all skin type kind of cleanser. That's for more dry, age preventative measures, not acneic at least, right? So this might be a really long video. Honestly, like if you make it all the way through the whole thing, freaking kudos to you. But there's a lot of great information if you're just interested in that, right? I'm even gonna get my eyebrows here. We're good. All right, so wash, and okay, so I'm gonna speed this up because this does take a while to wash all the suds off my skin, so I'll be right back. All right, so I got my skin all nice and cleaned up, right? So the next thing I'm gonna do is our second step, which is the pre-peel conditioner. I'm also just going to tap a little bit of that on the other side of my palette that I haven't yet used. So, oh, it's actually a lot wetter than I thought it was going to be. So instead of using a palette, I'm going to use these. All right, so this needs to be applied to the skin evenly. Okay, usually when we do peels, we do like a grid on the face. Whew. Can definitely feel and smell that alcohol. And that's really what peel prep is usually like a alcohol base, because you're really stripping all the oils off your skin before you apply that peel solution to it. And so when we apply like peel prep, it's gonna kind of like feel like alcohol and sting a little bit, but it's a good thing. All right, and then we move on to our third step, which is the G-Peel 50. And it's nano constructed, which means I think it has like a smaller molecular weight than the normal G-Peel 50. G-Peel 50 does stand for glycolic acid 50%. Do not fear. Noon comes with Derm Shield patented technology, which means it does have some kind of a numbing sensory system that works within it that allows high levels of concentration levels onto the skin without side effects like burning or redness or itchiness or anything like that, because it's essentially numbing those feel receptors, the niacin, the C receptors on your skin that feels things that feels foreign. So it sends signals to the brain, and then our brain responds by inflammation or a reaction, right? Because it's fighting that foreign substance on the skin. But these products actually come with something that numbs those receptors. So there are no signals that it's going to send to the brain for the brain to, what's the word? Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. You know, for the brain to send like hyper-inflammatory reaction to your skin, basically, right? So that is Derm Shield patented technology overview that is only offered with Noon, and this is the G-Peel 50. So I'm going to apply my first layer. This is my first time, I think, maybe my first time using the G-Peel 50. So I'm only gonna leave it on for like 2 minutes, no more than 3 minutes. And then I'm gonna move on with the next steps. Now the thing about chemical peels, just an FYI, there are a lot of skin types that do require home care prepping before you receive a peel. If you are a higher Fitzpatrick skin type, especially, right? So if you, which means you have more melanin than me, and you're more pigmented, you are going to need some prepping. We don't want to create any hyperpigmentation or hypopigmentation So you would get like a home care kit that you would use about a week or two before getting your peel treatment. And that's just going to prevent anything bad from happening with that. So, moving on to my peel. All right, I just opened the peel jar, and it comes with this really nice glass, I guess spatula. I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to refer to this as, but it's nice. And this peel is very thick and gel-like, which is not something that I was expecting at all, because most peels are a liquid form. So that's pretty unique. I'm just gonna take a sample of that and place it in my medicine. I think that's probably more than plenty for my first time around on this. Close this jar up. All right. Now, this might be a tool that I could use with it to apply, but I don't want to do that. So I've got my own special, these are really cool silicone type of, so here we go. Let's give this a try. All right, so glycolic acid is really good for fine lines and wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, and acneic problem skin. So that's why we see that ingredient in so many products. This pill in particular is going to like help reduce the uneven skin texture, all the problems I got going on the surface, and it is also a medium depth pill, definitely by far. So that means it's affecting your dermal layer and not just your epidermis. With that being said, that's triggering your collagen and your elastin synthesis. So you're kind of doing the same thing as you would with your cellular turnover weight to your collagen. You always want to speed the process up on your skin. That's kind of how we fight aging, just so you know. And I can already feel it tingling. Nothing too bad, nothing major. I have been prepping my skin for about a week with these products. I've done so many chemical peels on my face by now that like, it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really affect me like it used to. When I first started, I had very sensitive and reactive skin to pills. I remember like my first pill, the next day I was just like a lobster. And that's another thing about Noon, is you don't really have the downtime that you would expect with other pill brands. Noon, because of that derm shield technology, it doesn't create, you know, like a severe sloughing or peeling process for a week. It's just maybe an hour or two, a couple hours of redness and sloughing for a few days, but not anything that's gonna keep you indoors and away from people for a long time. So I've got this peel sitting on my skin. I'm just kind of like rubbing the spatula around because it itches in certain spots. That's what pills do. I also have a fan that I use on people sometimes. I usually always lay a fan on my client's lap when I'm doing a chemical peel because it feels nice and glamorous and it's cool. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a few minutes, and then you don't rinse this off. You add the peel neutralizer after that, then rinse. Okay, quick recap. It's been a few minutes. I'm about to rinse, but I just wanted to show you, look at that spot now. You see how red it's gotten? You see how red all those places are? Yeah, it's definitely targeting those troubled areas. Whew, whew. Okay, time for me to neutralize. So, I'm gonna grab a cotton pad, a few pumps of peel neutralizer, and I'm just gonna blot. Well, that's interesting. I'm not sure if it's really cooling or calming, but I am following protocol to see what happens. All right, and then once the skin is like fully neutralized, then I can rinse it with cold water and sponges and move on to the masking. So, feels like it's about neutralized. All right, now I'm going to rinse. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just finishing up with the rinsing. I'm just taking the sponge and blotting my skin because it does feel itchy. You know, it's like any other chemical peel kind of feeling. So the cold water is very nice. I am a little red. You know, there's going to be, like I said, a couple hours of some redness, some downtime in certain areas for sure. But that's normal. That's kind of what you get when you get a peel, right? You're red for a few hours in certain spots. And the igloo mask is going to actually sit on my skin. I'm gonna leave it on because I'm so red. I'm gonna leave it on for at least 10 minutes because it's kind of like where the whole calming starts and the cooling and all of that stuff that comes with that. Okay, so starting my masking process with the igloo. These are brand new bottles. Like I said, I'm really just kind of like trying some of these out my first time with you guys on camera. I'm going to use a fresh brush because everything is all sanitary here, even if it's just on myself. We got my little masking bowl, my brush, time to paint. I like to start at the forehead a lot of times. It just feels really itchy right here, so I'm gonna calm those spots first. Instant relief. Putting this on really helped. Okay. Now, yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna sit here for like 10 minutes and turn the camera off while this sits. And then I will move on to the Acne Complex Ampule and talk about the serum and do a muddy clay mask for a few minutes and then finish it up with the moisturizing. And that will be the treatment. Chemical peels with me are a little bit more fancier than what I'm doing to myself, right? Like I will include like a décolleté and arm massage and you know, you get like the full experience. So you're probably gonna be here for about, I don't know, 45, 50 minutes getting a chemical peel. Plus I let these masks sit on your face for as much time as I possibly can with your skin. And yeah. Oh, this feels amazing. This feels amazing after putting that 50% glycolic acid all over my face. This thermal gel is the shiznit. All right. I'm just gonna let that sit. And I can also like do chemical peels down the neck or décolleté, but I'm just letting you know, like, that's gonna require more product, so there is going to be enough charge with that, but I totally understand a lot of women are aging there and they need it done. And yes, we can do that. Okay, this is gonna sit. All right, so just to kind of help the whole soothing process, I've decided to use my rose quartz little facial massager and kind of really work that soothing, what is that? Igloo mask. Sorry, that soothing igloo mask into my skin that's supposed to be calming the whole process down from the glycolic peel that I just put on my face. And yeah, this is kind of why we have these rose quartz rollers, so we can just massage that irritated skin with something cooling and calming and hydrating and soothing and all that rejuvenating glamorous vocabulary. And like old lady. I mean, it's not like, we're never like really like that great as estheticians on ourselves versus how fancy we get on our clients, so that's funny to me. All right, so this has been sitting for about 10 minutes. I've been massaging it for at least 5 now. It even feels good on my lips. And I'm gonna rinse, and then I'm gonna move on to the ampule and Mediclay, finish it off with some salicylic pill, and we'll be good. Okay, so this little genie in a bottle is what we call an ampule. It's basically like a really, really, really potent version of serum, right? And this little tiny vial or ampule. Noon calls it ampule, Pro-Cell Therapies calls it vials. Either way, I gotta crack it, and I'm gonna apply it just as I would like a serum. Now, I noticed when I first got my first ampule, I didn't know how it came out. See, I already cracked it open and it's not coming out, and I was like, oh, it's broken. It's not broken. So this is how you do it in case you ever take one of these home. You tip it, and then you kind of press down on the very bottom part, and then it drips out, right? Like that. And so you're gonna rub it on, apply it like a serum. Ooh, this really is a kicker. I wasn't expecting that because I just got done calming my skin. Now I'm kicking it right back up again. It's all right, we just gotta trust the process. I'm gonna add just a little bit more, so it's really in there on all of my face. Wow, definitely a kicker. Like I said, I just got the product, so I'm gonna have to look at the book and tell you what ingredients is in here for this to feel the way it does, because it's kicking. So it says here 6% niacinamide, which is like a really new ingredient right now. A lot of people are rocking. It's good for sebum excretion, potent anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties. It also has, it looks like it has like an anti-inflammatory agent isolated from licorice root, which is for acne, rosacea, and psoriasis, and some types of dermatitis. It has a patented antimicrobial peptide that is for acne bacterium and can replace antibiotics in long-term acne treatment. Good to know. It's also got, oh wow, it's got sodium PCA, which is like a natural moisturizing factor or hydrating agent. So that's a little bit about the ampules, the serums. You know, like most serums, your skin feels a little dry and sticky afterwards. So then you would hit it with moisturizer. It's all like steps, right? It's 3, 4, 5 steps. How many steps do you have in your skincare process? Moving on to the Mediclay mask. This is, from my experience with clay masks, they're usually pretty hard and tight and kind of dry feeling. So that's what I'm expecting this to be. I'm gonna use my fresh mask bowl. And it is very thick, it's white. So as you see, it's clear, thick, white. All right. And that's the Mediclay. And now I'm going to use my clean side of this brush to apply. It's there's a lot of menthol going on with that ampule, and it's an acne complex ampule. Like I have a lifting and whitening for hyperpigmentation, and I also have an age preventative, which is like a hydrocalming, probably loaded with hyaluronic acid. So this one in particular just happens to kind of tingle and burn a little bit, probably because it's acne that we're targeting. Okay, but as far as this Mediclay mask goes, so far it feels very calming, soothing. I'm not sure about hydrating. Like I said, they usually feel kind of dry and tight. But it's thick, and a little bit I'm noticing right away, a little bit goes a long way. I'm gonna put this right up on my eye just because it feels, I mean, not on the eye, but you see, it's not that strong. So it totally feels safe to do that for me. Okay. Get all those little holy spots in the skin. Yeah, a little bit really goes a long way. I have a lot left over in my bowl already just from a few. And this can also be purchased for home care. You can buy masks from me. You can buy a lot of these products, except for the pills, you can get from me. I don't have any masks in stock, so if this is something that you want for home, you will have to pre-order with me and wait for the shipping to come to you, or you could pick it up or whatever. Eventually I plan to have all this stuff in stock for retail, but right now I just kind of have like the basic home care regimens. And the thing about Noon products is, in order to buy them, you have to have a thorough skin consultation in person, you know, skin analyst done by me. I will determine what's gonna work for you, because not one product is for all. With Noon, everything is very customized, and you know, you could be using the wrong thing and it could do damage versus good, right? So you kind of need like an expert that can guide you and coach you on these ingredients. And the fun thing about Noon is you do learn so much along the way. Like, you learn a lot about ingredients like niacinamide. What the heck is that, right? Glycolic acid, I've heard of it, but I don't know. And then we'll talk about hyaluronic acid in a minute. Like, we really go in depth about like what you're putting on your skin. Why? What is that? And a lot of people and brands, they don't do that. They expect you to know or buy their marketing, right? And that's not what Noon is about, which is why I fell in love with them. Okay, so I look like a meme or a mime or a meme. I look like one of them. I'm gonna let this sit. I think I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let it sit for 15 minutes, so I will get back to you when I'm done. And then after that is the final S-Peel 20, which is a little like very light peel of salicylic acid that I'll put on my skin, and then I'll moisturize and be done. I just wanted to talk briefly about this Clay mask that I have on my skin, as it's kind of like starting to dry and crack up, right? So this thing it feels very medical. It feels very, it smells medically. It just, it's I don't know how to, it's strong, right? And it smells medicinal. So I'm looking at the ingredients, and it has like a powerful, I don't even know how to pronounce some of these words, but I'm doing my best. It's oleanolic acid, which is a powerful inhibitor of cellular inflammatory processes, major protector of cells against oxidative stress. It's great for testosterone influence on acne-prone skin, and it also has nordehydrando and DGA acid, a cell growth regulator. Inhibits hyperkeratosis and inflammation, controls bacterial growth. It has propolis extract, which speeds up the wound healing process on your skin. And it's got a salvia officinalis extract, which prevents the occurrence of skin infections. Alotonian or whatever, it smooths and heals. Eucalyptus leaf oil, that's what I'm smelling, I think, is that eucalyptus mixed with all this other stuff. And sulfur, which kills bacteria, draws out oils, and it reduces buildup in your pores. So it's kind of like the Biore, the pore strips, right? Like they claim that if you pull your strip off, that, well, that's kind of what it's got sulfur in that too, but that's what the sulfur does. And you don't need to pull it off, like it will draw it out. So that's what I'm going through right now. I'm about to rinse it off. It's just almost done. And then I'm moving into S-Peel. All right. So I've got the Clay mask off my face, and this is what I look like now. You can actually see a glow already kind of starting to come in, and you know, obviously those are going to take a few days for it to totally be gone. So I'm going to move into my S-Peel 20, which is the salicylic acid. Okay, this is not the nano constructed version. I do have the nano, but I think that's kind of for a different Fitzpatrick type than me. I'll just tell you briefly. we use salicylic acid. I'm pretty sure this is, yes, this is liquid. So it's not the gel like the G50. So salicylic is good for like sun damage, sunspots, hyperpigmentation, fine lines, wrinkles. It's same thing, uneven skin texture. Oh gosh, all kinds of things. This is also kind of a medium depth in a way, I guess, because it's gonna hit your dermis along with your epidermis and stimulate your dermal collagen and elastin layer. And salicylic acid is a powerful, powerful exfoliator as well. All right, so I've got the salicylic acid in my medicine cup. And now I'm just letting my little sponges absorb it, and I'm gonna apply it evenly to the face. Woo-wee, another kicker. Apparently, this is what you can do with your skin. You can do both pills. This is really strong, so I don't think I'm gonna do this together on my clients. My skin is like, you know, pro, so it's used to some powerful stuff, but I wouldn't include the S pill and the 50 pill in one. Just my own observation, because wow. I mean, it's like an instant heat and then it kind of like settles, you know. Oh, my headband is falling off. Oh. And I keep putting it on like, woo-wee. What is wrong with me? No, because it heats up and then goes away. But I think this might feel very uncomfortable for clients that are coming here to kind of relax at the same time. All right, so use my fan. This says it can be left on like without washing. You can totally neutralize this, which is probably a different treatment that I should do in itself, either the S pill or the G pill. And the S pill could be a self-neutralizer in that case. But because I have previously just put that glycolic acid pill on, I'm going to rinse this in a few seconds. Wow, I can really see that shiny glow though. Look at that. Ooh, ooh, yeah. So I'm gonna rinse this and then I'm gonna moisturize, and definitely going to need that Igloo Moist 24/7 moisturizer because it's got some menthol properties that will calm and cool this. All right, time for me to rinse. Just gonna use my little water and sponge here because it is self-neutralizing. Like you could, I could put the peel neutralizer on, but I already know what that feels like, and that's heat too. And I'm just not gonna bring heat on heat on heat. Definitely. Yeah, that's it. All right. And because I just use so much, you know, different stuff on my skin to kind of experiment and let you observe with me, I'm not going to use retinol. I'm going to skip the retinol. Like I thought originally I was going to put retinol on, but I'm not going to. That's another kicker for skin pills, and retinol is just going to kind of like hype it back up again. When right now I just want to calm it down. I just want to focus on calming it, relaxing the skin, because I really don't want any downtime tomorrow. Like I don't want to feel like I have a sunburn for 3 or 4 days. I'm trying to reduce all that downtime, right? And still get this like same, like if not better results by not having the downtime. All right, see, yeah, that S pill just turned my skin right to red again. So I'm thinking not on my clients 2 at once, only 1 at a time. S pill is a lighter pill, so if you are afraid of the glycolic 50, then I would start you at the S pill 20 and work our way into the glycolic 50. I would not do both of them at the same time like I just did. I swear I'm not crazy. That is in a protocol on noon. It says you can do them on the same time, but I'm not doing that again. All right, so it's time to moisturize, and we're skipping the retinol. Igloo Moist 24/7. This is their most popular moisturizer, like I said before. I use it every day now, every morning and night, and it's very, very gratifying. Like it's just, it's really soaks in your skin and it doesn't leave like an oily feeling. It actually feels very soft and matte and kind of silky instantly. Like, oh, you know, without that oily barrier lurking on top. It really soaks in a good way. And it's calming the heck out of my skin right now. So that's doing wonders. All right. I'm actually going to let this Igloo Moist kind of settle because I know it soaks in so good. And then I'm going to apply like another layer of it in just a second. Rosy, rosy. I had it calm down. That Igloo mask really got rid of the red after the Glycolic Peel. But then when I put that S Peel 20, boom, right back at it. Yeah, those will be separate treatments. It's just not very enjoyable. All right, now I'm gonna put one more layer of the Igloo Moist. Ah, yeah. Oh, wow, it's like my skin is dry already. Like I never even put the first layer on. Oh, my skin is already kind of on the drier side than anything. It will absorb oil and all that waxy stuff like instantly. I used to put coconut oil, like straight up coconut oil on my skin all the time and swore by it before I became a licensed esthetician. Okay, so Igloo Moist. You know, the sun is about to go down, so I don't think I'm going to open this. I think I'm just going to save this whole experience because that's what it is. It's literally an experience. I'm going to save this for another video. But anyways, that's the acne pill treatment, and we're going to let this calm down a minute. I will send you guys a selfie probably tomorrow, give it a day, and you know, just show you like where my progress is at with it. But like I said, it was pretty calmed down until I put the S Peel on. But yeah, I mean, it's glowing, baby. Look at that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this entirely long video. I hope you guys found it useful, and I will talk to you later. Book for an appointment, give me a call. Love you.